in their position. They claim that their fears emanate from their proposed bill to liberalize the sector and insist that it must not proceed in Parliament the way it is. The bill, titled the Retirement Benefit Sector Liberalization Bill, was drafted in 2011, but despite several undertakings, it has not been tabled in Parliament, delaying the liberalization process. Recently, it was announced that the bill was being withdrawn for a time. On Labour Day, the Chairman General of NOTU demanded that President Museveni intervenes in the matter to safeguard the interests of the workers. He claimed that some officials at the Ministry of Finance were working for the IMF and the World Bank, and that by the stroke of a pen they would destroy the things they have made. So tonight we ask the question, what are the fears of the trade unionists with regard to this liberalization question? Our guests, Mr. Godbert Nshabe, former Executive Director at Accord, also Governance and Development Expert. Accord is a think tank. You're most welcome, Mr. Nshabe.
Thank you, Edmond, and good evening, listeners.
We're also joined by Mr. Moses Wekali, Acting Interim Executive Director at the Uganda Retirement Benefits Authority. You're most welcome, Mr. Wekali.
Good evening, listeners.
We're also joined by Mr. Asher Wilson, Chairman General of NOTU, the National Organization of Trade Unions. You're most welcome, Mr. Well.
Good evening, listeners and viewers. I understand this show.
Yes, we are also on the internet. Video Spectrum for YouTube. Mr. Wekali, what is the latest information regarding the liberalization of the fashion sector?
Thank you very much, Edmond and Kenneth, for arranging this discussion. The latest we have is that there's not going to be a withdrawal of the bill. That's number one. Number two is that the Ministry of Finance received the proposals that were made under the small committee which was being chaired under Minister of Gender, specifically Mr. Pius Bigirimana, of which Minister of Finance was part. We agreed to some of the recommendations there. And I just want to say that I think we've narrowed down our differences and therefore ready to move forward. As you know, this process has been on for the last 20 years. And the reform process is aimed at a number of things, although some people try to narrate to the amendments to the Uninformed Act. But actually the reform process is much broader than that, because we are looking at providing coverage to all the people in the formal sector. We are looking at expanding coverage to those who are self-employed, those who are the majority in the formal sector, so that they can have some social protection arrangements. We are looking at improving the governance in the pension system, which has been a challenge for a number of years. We are looking also at reforming specifically the public service pension scheme, so that pensioners can get their money on time and without hassles. We are also looking at reforming the entire investment framework of these funds, so that these funds can grow and bring about specialization in asset management of these funds. So the reform process is much broader, and is aimed at one, ensuring that people appreciate and understand the value for saving for retirement. It's aimed at reconstructing or rebuilding trust and confidence in the pension sector. And all these reforms should translate into, first of all, increased incomes for the savers when they retire, and also increased savings in the economy as a whole. And that alone has significant multiplier effects, not only at individual household level, but also economy-wide level. So that's how we are proceeding. So the members of as I mentioned before, and as my peers, Mr. Keith Makans put up a statement before in the newspaper, this bill is now at the Committee of Parliament. It's a property of Parliament, and any proposals, including the proposals which have emerged from the committee that I mentioned, the small committee, will go to this committee and will be considered together with other stakeholders, because the stakeholders are not just me or Mr. Were from trade unions and so on. They are stakeholders who are actually not so vocal, but they are important stakeholders. And those stakeholders must be listened to, and all make proposals to this committee together with the committee recommendations that I've talked about, and Parliament will consider all these recommendations and provide a strategic way forward in terms of legislation, in terms of transforming this sector.
Other stakeholders, you mean some of the cooperative employers, who are about 90%?
Yes. For instance, just to give you, you're right. When you look at the people, the structure of the people who contribute, say, to, just let me mention one scheme, the NSSF. The people who are organized under the trade unions, because you have to be a member of trade union, right? They contribute 7% to the total fund
Mr. Ware's
under the NSSF. Yes,
7%.
that's Mr. Ware's group, 7%.
Who owns the other 93?
The other 93 are those people who are not under the arrangement of trade unions, the corporate sector and so on.
The silent.
The silent ones, including myself. I'm not under a trade union. I don't have a card for that, but I contribute the NSSF. So the likes of myself and others, plus the employers and others, who spend more time actually producing and making sure that they create employment and so on, they contribute 93% to this fund.
And they brought the operational outputs. And saying higher income for savers, investable funds, and vehicles for investment.
Yeah. Just before I go there, I just want to correct the misinformation that there is resistance to this. This structure, where is the resistance coming from? Because all that 93% I've talked about, we've consulted them. They broadly support this reform. They're the people who have been demanding reform in this sector. Okay? So, the few individuals, okay, including members of their own, don't actually believe in what the position they are pursuing. I'll give you an example. On 10th February, we had a tripartite meeting organized under the Ministry of Gender. And I made a presentation. Everyone made a presentation. And the trade union had mobilized, there were about 60 people in that room, in the Ministry of Gender, in the boardroom. And after I made a presentation, those people who are members of the trade union actually had started talking in support of what I had presented. And they saw this as the way forward. One of the trade union leaders, Peter Werige, I think. Peter Werige, I'm sorry. Stood up and says, "You are not supposed to talk here. We just finished an election. When we talked for you, you must shut up." This guy was so angry. I looked at this, I said, "What is democracy here?" Someone is expressing their views, and they're being gagged by the trade unions. So what is democracy? Okay? So the resistance is aimed at protecting the interest of a few individuals, the leaders, who want to portray a picture as if there is a countrywide resistance to reform, and that's not acceptable.
But what are the benefits of reforms such as it's here and elsewhere? Other countries have people like Nigeria, Kenya, Botswana.
Actually, Kenya, my understanding is that very recently it reversed the process and has tried to reconstruct what is more or less like similar to NSSF here. But really for me that is not the point. I think I like the points that Moses has raised here in terms of what is the purpose of the reform, what are they intended to achieve. My issues, I have three main issues. One is the length of the reform process. 20 years of reform. I think this country is suffering from either timidness of taking action. So you spend 20 years reforming the pension sector. For the last 20 years, what we've had is NSSF. What we reformed, or we've been planning the reforms. I get a sense that as a country we are not we lack the capacity and we are incapable of managing reforms that are time bound, that are specific, because we have set ourselves goals. So when you say we've been reforming for 20 years, even after 20 years, when you come up with something, I need to go back and study the political economy that has defined this process. Secondly, I think that the resistance is informed by the experience. The experiences that people go through. Because we've been undergoing the land reform process for over 15 years. We just passed the national land policy. I can count for you all the other policies where we've been struggling. So even with the pension reform, the resistance is informed by the experiences. In fact, my argument has been that the problem we face is not because people resist reform. It's because there has been substantial breakdown of trust between the government and the citizens. So, because of that breakdown in trust, even when government comes out to do something that is good for the citizens, they are not sure whether actually this is intended to benefit them or some interests in there are the ones that are going to benefit. So the resistance is a natural outcome of this breakdown in trust. So even with the pension sector, I served with NSSF for all my life. I have served with NSSF. To be honest, I don't like it. But in the context of where government has superintended over theft of public funds, right, left, and center, from this sector to the other one, I'm like, really, if you liberalize this sector, you could get a series of policy schemes around this country. Is it possible that this is going to be the best case scenario for me? Or maybe it is better for me to stay with NSSF in as much as they suppress the interest they pay to me, and I'm also not sure that when I go look for my money it's going to be there, or maybe this is a safer bet. So I could stay with NSSF, not because I like the scheme, the fear of the unknown. Yeah, the fear of the unknown. So I think these objectives that Moses have outlined, they are excellent. In a country that is progressing, this is what we should be looking for. So I think the resistance Moses and you people in government are facing are not your problem actually. They are a product of the failure in governance. They are a product of the breakdown in trust. And I'm not sure what government will have to do to reconstruct that trust. Because of lack of trust, or because of breakdown of trust, we can't reform the pension sector. Because of breakdown of trust, we can't do things in the land sector. Surveyors go from Ministry of Lands to go and help citizens identify their passwords in systematic demarcation, and people are carrying spears to spear them. It's a crisis we are facing.
But as an analyst, would expect you to give us some advice, okay? Rise above the average.
So give us some. Just the third point is the consultations. I know you can't consult everybody, but I don't know the scope of the consultations. I've worked with the sector that is very, very significant in terms of contributions to NSSF, civil society, and more specifically by that, because trade unions are also civil society. But our subsector called NGOs is very significant in terms of contributing to this NSSF. I am not sure if there have been any structured consultations where you guys managing the reforms and NGO leaders have actually been able to say, yes, on these principles we can agree.
This is what we talked about.
So then I can
talk about. Why are you afraid of this? First of all, I want to thank Brother Moses, and first of all, I want to tell you the truth about this reform. I wouldn't have any problem with the reform, and rightly, like you said, when the started, it was broken. God told you many years there was a SCT
What's the sticking?
It was the reform you are talking about, where we initiated, what we are talking about today, but was hijacked by the Minister of Finance. And I want to tell you, thank God says, have you ever seen any project undertaken by the Minister of Finance that has succeeded? Tell me one.
They manage the economy.
Good. I'm telling you, we have a problem. Now, usually when you are coming out with a law, there must be a policy. Now, from Moses, we have been asking you this question. Where do you drive this policy, this law from? Because the law must come out of the what? The policy. Now, when we asked them, do you know what they told us? You know, we have a narrow mandate just to reform and make sure. Now, he was telling me about pensions. You know how pensions has been mismanaged? Who has been mismanaging pensions? And I've told you,
Decentralized.
the pension that they were talking about is not in this bill. Their aim is focusing on NSS. Why? Let me give you an example. In this very act, what they are proposing in this bill, the first thing, remove what?
The monopoly.
No, they are talking about the law. Repealing the law.
Yes.
Are you getting me? When you are repealing the law, what are you replacing with? What is it?
Isn't it the new law that is repealing the old law?
No. You know, at first there was Act, which is supposed to oversee all this. That's the Upra Act. That Upra Act, the same gentleman here, Moses, rushed with this bill.
I don't think it's
No. Today, I want to tell the people the truth. You know, for me, I don't miss my words. Moses here, we were even having lunch. Listen, let's keep it. When we had, okay, let me go on the principle. When we were having lunch, he told us, this same bill we passed like we passed the other one. And was busy taking MPs around Europe, everywhere. And we had lunch. He told us that whether you do what or what, this bill will pass. Now, let me give you a scenario where we don't trust this bill.
You don't trust God.
Yes. One, the gentleman, people who drafted this bill, are the same people who are promoting it. Are same people who are now want to implement. Now, Godback, the man who is principal, tell me, are there many other, even if you go and do your research in the Ministry of Finance, there are particular people who are driving this bill.
We'll try to get personality.
No, this is what, you know, when we are discussing issue, I'm in charge of workers. And you know when Moses says that we are only 7%.
That's a big percentage.
I want to remind Moses, him with his pen is now influencing government policy. And now he's talking about 7%, and you think they cannot influence the what? You know, it's just a matter of understanding. Now, let me come back to the issue. First of all, you have people who are questionable in pensions, who have been squandering pensions. You appoint boards.
Like who? Some names.
I talked about the gentleman called Kusa.
Has he got
You know, he is now going through investigation and so on. This gentleman was appointed. There's another person who actually could pronounce him is not supposed to hold any office.
Who's that?
No, I will not discuss it because I'm taking.
It's gone through court.
So we are taking a serious action. So we that is our last bullet. So
Please make sure they are rubber.
first of all,
They are human beings involved.
First of all, from the word go, they started fidgeting with the pastor umbrella. There was no even If that act was made properly with consultation, but there was no even need of making this other what? The law which is coming. The only thing we told them, let's make that law very good, so that it becomes a good regulator.
What's the substance of it? Give us your option. Substance of it. The act that they're proposing breaks up the model of they license other application providers. Stanbic Bank, Barclays Bank, whatever bank can have their own scheme for their own staffers. Ashaway can have his own scheme for
you are talking about, it's good you are talking about what's wrong? You know, we are talking about social security, which is me and you. Workers are vulnerable. By the way, NSSF was started for a very low one. That was in 1980. I don't remember yet, but the incense was around 60. Those who are government happy, permanent workers, who are pensionable, and those who are not on the temporary terms, they said, okay, let's create for them what? Another scheme. And that scheme, with the time, it came up. Actually, the person who started that in the NSSF, it was generated through property. That is the workers, the employers, and the government.
Okay, well, let's take a break at this stage, because we'd like to get the substance out, get clarity. What exactly does this proposal mean, and what they expect from it, and whether they think that your objections are just. This is Spectrum Radio.
Experience the thrill and unforgettable memory of gorilla trekking. Uganda Wetland Authority is happy to offer you up to 40% discounts on gorilla trekking permits. Offer valid till 31st May.
I was not consulted.
Life experience of trekking the world's few remaining mountain gorillas in Winnie Express and Gahina National Parks. You can also enjoy many other activities like nature walks, hiking, birding, golden mountain trekking, culture and community experiences with the Batua and a lot more. Don't miss this opportunity. Uganda Wildlife Authority, consulting for generations.
It's incredible how this cup of coffee. Explain. Well, the farmer has to know when it's going to rain. The buyer has to know when to buy. The trucks when to collect. For that, he needs satellite to talk to the ships, the factories.
Where's the coffee in all this?
I don't know, the big warehouse. But just to make sure that every farmer gets paid in the right currency.
So does all.
Why are they reversing it in
Knows how to
Kenya?
help businesses of all sizes to grow. By using the latest technologies, we make small businesses bigger and big businesses better. So, if you're ready to grow your business, let's meet over coffee. SMS the word coffee to 0776 11 6666 and stand a chance to win a fully connected office. Welcome to the new world of business.
Welcome back on Spectrum Tonight. Is the agenda Spectrum Tonight is the agenda to liberalize the pension sector in Uganda still. So our guest, Mr. Dr. Atumsha, former executive director, is actually the founding executive director of ACORD, also governance and development expert. Mr. Moses Bekari, interim executive director of the Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority, and Mr. Asha, who is chairman general of the National Organization. We will be able to call him and interface with him. Mr. Bekari, talk to us about consultations. How far did you go in the consultation? 7% of did you consult with the 93%?
Yes, indeed. Just to say that, as you know, this process started many years back. What's your name? And since the 1990s, there has been consultations. There were extensive consultations, and that culminated into what we call the STG report. There were consultations which involved the service providers and the key ministries, and also some of the NGOs, like Labour for Action. There is some association, Platform for Labour Action, and other associated associations and groupings. Okay. Recently, in 2012, the Ministry of Finance formed a committee, to work, on this bill that led to the amendments to the bill that we see today. In that committee, which was about 45, between 45 and 48 members. We had 8 trade unions representatives. Mr. Werege was there. There was Werege. There was a number of lawyers from their organizations. There were also representations from Federation of Uganda Employers. There were representations from the private sector, the corporate private sector, the service providers, the fund managers, the administrators, the custodians, the corporate sector, a total of 45. In that grouping, Ministry of Finance had only 2 of senior officials, and then we had like 2 or 3 support staff, to help us organize move in and out and so on. People to support, like the secretaries. Okay? So, all those people were from the private sector, most of them. Private sector and NGOs, and also trade unions. First of all, they had been free, because the number had started small in that committee. We started with the number 4, but because of the interest, and we had an open door, because of the interest, the number grew up to about 45%. One time I actually presented a list of those people here, you remember? I still have it in finance. And also the signature, if you want, where these people were signing, because they had to be facilitated in terms of their transport and lunch and everything. Okay, so there was consensus on these issues. Also looking at what the recommendations of the STG report has been. Now, after this committee concluded its work, in fact, what was pending in that committee as we ended, because that committee lasted 6 months. It was a very difficult committee. You can imagine having more than a dozen lawyers in a committee. Okay? It was a very difficult committee.
I think the other guys who are competent lawyers are always okay.
Okay? Because each lawyer is different and so on. But we got a lot of support, I must appreciate that. The issue that remained outstanding at that point was whether we should have outright liberalization of the NSSF or partial liberalization. Okay? And Ministry of Finance is the one which pushed partial liberalization, because the STG report had recommended outright liberalization in order to subject the NSSF to competition without protection. And we looked at other issues, objectives of maintaining financial stability. We looked at the issue of the NSSF maintaining its investments. We looked at the NSSF continuing to get an income stream in order to support ongoing investments. So we supported partial liberalization from Ministry of Finance, okay, so that you can have a layer of, and it's in the bill, 5% continues going to the NSSF, and then there is the balance is where there is competition. That's what is partial liberalization. And also we said that the funds in the NSSF will be protected
For 5 years.
for at least 5 years.
That is the planning.
In the-
How to kill it in 5 years.
in the
Their planning.
So, what the gentleman here, in fact, what I should tell you is that one time I was chairing this meeting because I was the chair of this committee, and my colleagues were walking up and down, out and in, out and in. Somehow they got into stuff with the security, because security then started suspecting people who were coming out and on. But what they were planning was they were arranging with the television to say that I had kicked them out of the meeting. The meeting was chaired. So when I got out, I had a meeting with Centenary Bank, because at that time there was a problem. Centenary Bank was facing pressure. Staff was saying we need to liquidate and so on. I had to go and speak to the board, to the managers there, in order to stabilize the situation there. When I came back, NTV called me and said, well, they're saying that you pushed 3 million out of the meeting. I said, when? I asked when, which I hadn't known. I said, when? They said, no, today. I said, no. The trade union saying you pushed them out of the meeting. I said, that's not possible. So they had my actual version of the events. But what these people were trying to do, instead of contributing to the debate, based on the issues, these are kind of the drama that they were getting in. And therefore missed out on the key thing. But I tried to give them platform. And if you ask someone called David Nkoji, is it David Nkoji or someone called what is his name? Mr. Nkoji. Mr. Nkoji. I always respected him. I even tried to say he's a senior colleague in this meeting. I always give him platform, and I give everyone platform to speak.
Let's get some. Let's talk about the 93%. Can we profile them a little bit? The MTNs of this one, the Stanbics of this one, the big tax payers. Usually supported. And I've looked at the list of some of the companies that you license, about 45 or more, and they have formed their own groups.
Yeah.
They want to manage their own pensions. Yeah.
Actually, beyond that, they are going even beyond that. They are going beyond that. These associations, these retirement benefits schemes, they even are going ahead to form an association because they think they should speak with one voice. Okay?
Good, but talk to us about
a voice that they have not heard before.
Good, but talk to us about these dynamics. 93 and 7%. NSM is corrected for 5 years.
Actually,
what
Moses is describing worries me. Because you see, there is, when as government you are trying to legislate, you are legislating for me. You are not legislating for yourself. So when I hear the levels of disagreements, they worry me because isn't it possible that we can have these conversations and reach some consensus on some basic minimum of what needs to be legislated? So, because if you look at the 93% we are talking about, if they are interested in opting out of NSSF, for example, if that is their mission in this whole process, then the reform itself would have thought of NSSF. Is it actually is NSSF actually necessary, or the thing should actually be disbanded? So what I hear is government trying to protect the NSSF, but all the current contributors running away.
I think let me correct that. The 93, let me clarify that. The 93 I talked about are the people who are not unionized. But I did say that 93, I did say that 93 wants to opt out of the NSSF. But what we are trying to do in this, because when you talk about the big one like liberalization, like for you academicians especially, and Laura, you think of liberalization. You look at the 90s. What was the liberalization? The liberalization was associated with privatization, but it's not what we are doing. Let's raise the word liberalization, and we've agreed in the committee of Pius Bigirimana that the name should be changed. Okay, and this was proposed by my PS, Mr. Kismore, that we should change to retirement benefits from there. Members of Parliament are suggesting that even reform is not enough, is not required. Let's change it to retirement benefits bill.
Because reform is shit.
It's like you're going to be reforming all the time.
Yeah. So they're suggesting retirement benefits bill, and we agree to that because in order to capture all the elements of the reform. Okay.
All right. Now, let me say what doctors about. You want to love this, then you change.
No, let me tell you. First thing, Godba, you have heard this gentleman. You know, within my training, you can even hear from his own mouth that he's trying to mobilize against NSSF, and it's trying to get some members. First of all, I want to tell you that these people have mobilized about, you know, their members like the MDs, those who are getting more money. I don't want to get names, but there are about 100 who are getting much money in Uganda who are well paid. Now, when they see their money, they are about 100. You find that the 80% of that money in NSSF, you find that they own almost 80%. I'm getting it. Now, this gentleman, I've said, why don't we go to these people and tell them, what are you doing there? Why don't you form another, our own?
What's wrong with that? I mean, they're not taking your money, they're taking their money. What's wrong with that?
Let me
You keep your NSSF,
let me tell you. Godba has just told you that in this country, once people see money, they know how to get it. And that is what is happening now.
Well, but big bank, and the big bank.
What I want you to don't compare banks with.
Let's look at the calibers. You are the big corporates. You just identified the H20. The small group of
Because it is talking about big corporates. Mine is the big corporates. I think let's not miss the point of the discussion. And for me, what really worries me is that as Ugandans, we cannot make compromises that help us to move forward as a country. Let me just finish this point. At the center of this reform is the worker who is interested in saving for their social security. So we should be looking at the package that is available and how it works for the worker. We should not even be worried about protecting the NSSF first and foremost. Exactly. Or we should not be worried about whether these other guys are licensed. No, we should be looking for a package that says if we could get a retirement benefits system that is configured like this, the Ugandan worker will be the winner. And we develop principles that deliver that. Now, if that takes NSSF to the moon, well, because it is for the worker.
Yes.
If it ends up demobilizing NSSF and their schemes, so long as the system has been created in such a way we don't have Ponzi schemes, emerging here, because those ones are also.
I think you're right. I think you're right, and that's why we're saying, in trying to build a system that benefits all workers, not just a section, because the current system only caters for 5% of the 15 million in the workforce.
Only 5%.
Only 5%, of which NSSF is 3%, of which the public service pension scheme is 1.9. But also I want to underline the point that when we talk about social protection, okay, the position they are pursuing is actually against that objective. Because the NSSF is a provident fund. It's not a pension system, and therefore it's not a social protection system. Okay, it's just a saving mechanism for like any other. Any social protection system.
Because you don't
Any social protection system, must protect the people when, for instance, if I retire, I should have an income that takes me up to when I die or something like that. Okay. The experience of lump sum, I'm not saying people should not get their lump sum, and I want to clarify that people who have their money in NSSF or have been saved in other saving mechanisms, they will get their pensions as agreed previously before this becomes law. I want to emphasize that because
the ones who have just changed that. They have just changed that. First of all,
but what I want, let me finish my point. Yes. Yeah, my point is that we are trying to go beyond the 5% and try to reach out to the 95% workers, the one you mentioned, who are not.
I want to clarify something. First of all, Moses is telling total lies. He proposed that people should get 30%, and then the other money be spread in annuity. You buy annuity, and you buy annuity and spread it, maybe 15 or which year. We actually shot that one down. No. Let me tell you, the most important thing now is capital. Where do I get capital?
So you want all your cash and
in fact, economically, some people even have created jobs.
No, let's do that. That's the point. You want all your money at
No. I think you can help.
If you want a pension, we are saying
there should be an option.
There should be an option whereby if I can have my own this one which is lump sum, and then if I want I can again go for pension.
How much should the lump sum be? It should be 100% decide on their own.
I would just support where there that I want a system
Which is flexible.
That gives me the flexibility to either pick the lump sum, or if my pension scheme is giving me a better return.
This is the point where your odd number 041 348 031 226 0390 031 226 1390. Calling, please tell us your name. Also, where you're calling from. Spectrum. Yes, sir, your name?
Ahmed.
Ahmed, yes?
Yes, man. How are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
Fine. I'm worried about new things coming up. NSSF already did a command that it is really government, kind of, it's government. Now, until you go into circles, like you see people running away with people's money. You save money 5 years, then down the road you can't locate the manager, not even the address of the saving scheme. You know, with this hurriedness, that is very, the short-sightedness, that is very difficult to get, and they wanting to rip my life.
Spectrum. Hello. Okay. Let's talk about that here.
Hello?
Yes, your name?
Rogers, good evening.
Good evening, Rogers.
How are you, sir, there?
Very well, thanks. Your question?
Just have 2 or 3 points. First one, I've also been trading in the NSSF for close to 15 years now. But I'm suggesting that even if they want to liberalize this sector, they should not dismantle NSSF because of maybe the experience and the kind of stability they have. Number 2, my worry is about sharks coming in. You know, this government does not have their record of managing finance or funds is not the best. So if you just allow every big car company to come up, then you might end up having sharks coming up, and then you save with them at the end of the day, can't get your money in time. So I just suggest that any should not be dismantled. Then thirdly, the other thing is the lump sum. I think after 55 years, if I've saved with you, why do you give me money instantly? I should take my money and see how I use it. Thank you.
Spectrum, hello? Talk to us good about this. Yeah, no, serious. Okay, let's take a caller. Your name?
Hello.
Yes, hello. Your name?
This is Julius from Sister.
Yes, Julius.
I think we had 2 points. One is that when you say NSSF and look at the history of managing our money, you just get scared. Because these days they can't tell managing director for 2 terms. Every time they are changing all the time and they choose. So when you're sitting with them, you feel like, by the time I'm 60, with these guys managing my money properly. So there is that hope of fear in terms of what's saving for NSSF. The second part is that there is no trust within that we trust government. The people who are going to enter the market in the pension market, enter the pension market, that they will actually save us from NSSF. So until the key players, the union workers, the Ministry of Finance, deal with those 2 issues, then that's when we can be comfortable and decide what to go well. Thank you.
Let's get back to the studio. Mr. Baker. Yes. Okay, let's take a final caller. Spectrum. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, your name?
My name is Adil Gideon.
Yes, Mr. Please, can you switch up your radio?
Actually, for us as workers and workers leaders, we are been telling Moses Baker of his intention and taking away what people have said. He's talking over that the workers who organize about 7%. I don't know where he gets that information. He should have figures which are a bit specific. When the law was coming up in the 60s about saving the social protection, they never looked at what the bakery is looking at. And nobody is ready to move with what bakery is doing because we are not sure of what is going to happen. You have seen Uganda disappearing, you have seen UTP disappearing. So these are the same guys who are coming masquerading as the people who want to help workers. And
Okay, let's get back. Mr. Bekane.
Yes, I want to address.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, your name?
Yes,
Good evening, sir, your name? Yes, dear.
I agree with Mr. Wheeler and Mr. Bodiba. The Western Center of Focus should be the same as themselves as the workers, and they should consult them adequately not to take decisions on their behalf.
Yes, Mr. Bekane.
Yes, I just want to address the issue of trust. In fact, in most of the presentations that I make, this is the first thing that I talk about. Even when I've been talking about here, I agree with you. We have an issue of trust, especially in the pension sector. Even what is happened in the NSSF and also in the public service and so on, including, by the way, occupation schemes. What we are trying to do is to build checks and balances in the system, to build transparency, reporting, and so on. And on the issue of government, we are removing, what we are doing is to remove the influence of government in the management of these funds. And that's why we've suggested irrevocable trusts. Okay? You know irrevocable trusts? Yes. And we are saying that the governing bodies are going to be boards of trustees, which are going to be elected by the members themselves. And those boards of trustees are the ones who are going to be making investigative decisions. Okay? Not the minister or any other government official. And that's why we are trying to restore trust and confidence. What this does is that it puts the saver in effective control of their savings, because they can fire the boards of trustees the next day if they are not doing well, and they can hire them. Secondly, let me address these issues, Mr. Webb. Second, on the issue where people are saying that they are going to run away with people's money, that's not going to happen. Because what we are trying to say, and that's why we created these service providers and segregate the functions. That's why we have the role of the custodian. You have the role of the administrator. You have the role of this fund manager.
It is structured in a certain way.
In a certain way, in order to prevent anyone, because the fund managers are not going to hold any monies or any assets. So there's nothing they are going to run away with. And the decision to invest is going to be the boards of trustees.
And you can't invest outside of the staff.
And you cannot invest outside.
Let me tell you, from the word go, the UPRA, where it's acting, is the man who has been promoting the bill. He drafted it. He's now the implementer. From that one alone, in the principle, takes Moses away. And actually, every Ugandan now, even me, in fact, Moses, you should even resign when you come from here. You cannot start the bill and then at the same time you want to implement. That one disqualifies even you, and I want to make sure, Moses, you leave that place. When you look at he's talking here about custodian. Who are these people? These are banks. Are you getting my point? And let me tell you, every stage, now they are charging. Now, as we talk now, NSSF does not charge my money when it goes there. They are just investing, and they use what comes out of what the investment. But now they have fund manager, custodian. Then him himself, it's my money which is going to sustain that. It's possible.
First of all, I think we should save Moses from this.
No. That's at the center of everything. There are so many people in being so finance.
Yeah,
but the one who is carrying this thing on his head.
Moses is our employee.
Have you ever seen anybody talking about this apart from you?
No, I think the point is that one of the major causes of failure of reforms in this country is that we try to liberalize without liberalizing. So you can create a law that almost starts prescribing how a private company is run. You can easily get it wrong because companies or private businesses do not run that way. So the things that Moses is describing, they could also be problematic because you don't want a business to prescribe how a private business is run, and they are everywhere. One of the things that are related to the pension sector is this new scheme the students' loan scheme. If you see the legislation and then the people who are put on the board to manage it, a set of politicians here and there, I can assure you, given my experience of 16 years doing analysis work in this region, you could never have scheme with the current government.
But here we are saying the members will have their
So the regulatory structure is going to be a major problem, I think, and so we should remain focused on how do we get those checks and balances, like you mentioned.
We have to go. Thank you very much, Mr. Goodback, the founding executive director and also government and development experts. Thank you for coming tonight. Mr. Moses Becker, the interim executive director, all the interim executive of the Ghana Channel. Coming now, Mr. Asha Wilson, Chairman General of the National National Training. Thank you for tuning in. I think you have 10 minutes. Just wait back tomorrow. Right now,
thank you. So I think my job is with you. Since I'm in retirement, my job is with you.
Actually, first of all,